Hi guys, Rachel here with the Cackling Moon. This is going to be kind of like a little video diary slash cleansing my crystals slash hang out with me kind of a video. So if you are curious to watch and see how I cleanse my crystals and get a little bit of an update on what's been going on in my life, please keep on watching. Alright you guys, so I have been wanting to cleanse my crystals, not all of them, but only the palm stones. I've been wanting to cleanse these guys for a while. So what I did was I gathered the crystals that I've been using for a long time now that I use pretty much daily. So palm stones are those crystals that are round and they fit in the palm of your hand, hence the name. I am a sucker for palm stones. I love to use them when I'm meditating. I love to use them when I'm listening to ASMR and I'm just kind of like unwinding from a busy day of readings. It's very relaxing and they're my go-to crystals. So they are the ones that get used the most. And so they also need to be cleansed because I use them every single day. So that's what we're going to do today. The other thing is I've just been wanting to cleanse the crystals that I just used for that eclipse and full moon that we had just a few days ago. I did a whole candle intention for it. So I had a whole crystal grid and I want to cleanse those crystals as well. So speaking of that, this is the candle intention. I ended up letting it blow out a little bit early. I didn't want to burn it all the way down because I was a little bit worried that it was gonna get too hot. The candle does get a little bit hot and I have it on my wooden dresser. So you can see why I was a little bit nervous of letting it burn all the way down. Usually I have it on some kind of a tray or, you know, something that isn't as scary as a wooden dresser, but I didn't do that this time. So I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna risk it. I'm gonna just blow it out and that'll be the end of that. So I did it early, but anyways, I have the crystals. I was using a lot of hematite and black tourmaline and black onyx for the crystal grid for that one, so they need to be cleansed. So basically what I use when I'm cleansing my crystals, I just get a container and I fill it up, not very much, with water, and I am going to use this to cleanse them. Now sometimes I will spritz some oils into it, sometimes, not all the time. I do have spray. It's over there. We're not going to use spray this time. I'm going to light some sage though. So sometimes like I said, I will spray like lavender spray into it, or I'll spray like protection spray or whatever. I'll do that too, but I don't have it with me and I'm not going to worry about it. So let me go ahead and put this more, so it's more on the table. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to light some sage, my little sage that's fallen apart here. Let's light him up and just set the intention of cleansing my crystals, my working crystals, cleansing them free of any harboring negative energies, and setting them with the same intentions for healing, meditation, release, focus, intuition, and protection. Now, what I also like to do is, after I cleanse the crystals, sometimes I will light the sage and wave them through the crystals as well, but I probably won't do that on video. We'll see. So I have the container of water. I just cleansed it. I also have some paper towels so I can put the crystals onto the paper towels and dry them. If you guys want to follow along, you can too. So go ahead and pause this video and get yourself your stuff. And I will see you here. We'll start cleansing crystals and just talking about life. All right. Now, before we get started, I also wanted to kind of show you guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have already seen it, but I have started to create candles. I'm practicing with making candles. So this was my very first one that I made. I had stickers left over from years ago, and it's basically a basic soy lavender candle. All of this mishmash stuff that you see on the sides is actual lavender plant that I glued on to the sides of the glass. But yeah, it's a lavender candle, and it's my first one. So it has a wood wick and some lavender at the top. There's some like glitter. I was just testing it out, trying to make it look pretty. It doesn't have a strong lavender scent. I don't think I put enough of the oil, but I love it. So my candles will be coming soon to the Cackling Moon. So that one I've been lighting in my room at night. And I just made a second batch of smaller ones as my practice ones. So these are also lavender candles, and these actually have a stronger lavender scent. That's just loose lavender leaf in there. But these actually have a stronger lavender scent because I put more. So I haven't lit them yet, and I'm hoping when I do light them, I'm hoping that they will smell more like lavender. We shall see. I don't know yet what size candles I'm gonna have in my shop. The containers that I'm tentatively looking at are 9 fluid ounce jars, meaning when you fill it up with the candle wax and whatnot, it probably will be about a 7-ounce candle, I think. I have to do a little bit more research. So they're not large candles, but they're not little either. I think it's like just the right size. But we shall see. I may do some larger ones like this guy. But it's just gonna be trial and error. I'm just gonna see what comes up. But I'm excited. I ordered labels. I ordered, actually stickers, I should say. So I ordered some more Cackling Moon stickers. I ordered a whole new set of Cackling Moon business cards. I'm so excited, and I'm just ready for, you know, adding something new to the Cackling Moon store. All right, so let's start our cleanse. I guess I could also light the sage too. I guess I could, you know what I could do? I could sage it, then dip it in water, and then let it dry. I think I'll do it that way. And then I could also do another sage again too. So let me move my candle over here so that it's easier for me to light the sage. All right, you guys, are you ready to cleanse? Hopefully you could see. Okay, so anyways, how has life been? I'm pretty sure I am not the only one that feels like you've been kicked in the ass with life. Life has been rather crazy. My husband was working for 2 weeks straight. He was working 12 to 16-hour shifts back to back, and he had just got back from vacation. So he got back from vacation, and I think it was like a couple days later, they were notified that they were going to be working back-to-back shifts. My hubby was out there during the protests, so he was at the front lines of those protests, and it was interesting. It was, to say the least. It was interesting. It was a very interesting experience from him, hearing, you know, his experience and his side of this whole experience, I guess is what I could call it. It's been interesting. He was exhausted, and I was very nervous for him because his line of work is not the favorite one right now. There's a lot of anger, frustration. People do not trust. People are angry, and there's just a lot of there's no support with that with the line of work he does right now. So it's been scary, I will say. My moods have been really all over the place. This is gonna be the only time that I talk about this because it's a little bit personal. So my moods have been all over the place, you guys. The last couple weeks, I have been battling with a lot of depression. I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety and panic. So I've been trying to do things to kind of divert that attention, to kind of counterattack those feelings. And so that's where this whole candle making started, to be honest. I was like, I need to find something else that I love, that is kind of like a hobby kind of a thing. I was like, I need to find something else that I love, and because my readings is my job. So I was really like looking for it, and I just haven't been feeling astrology as much as I was, before. So I haven't been studying it. I haven't really been devouring the books like I was before. It happens, that happens with me in astrology. And so with my hubby being gone, and I was literally like, when he was home, he was sleeping, because he would just come home to sleep, and then he would go back out and work for 12 to 16 hours. I was sleeping alone the whole 2 weeks. It felt like I was back in those days of him being in the academy. It was rough. My refrigerator broke, you guys. So during this whole thing, our refrigerator broke down literally the first day of this whole like stuff. And luckily we have a backup fridge, so I still have my grandpa's. I inherited my grandpa's refrigerator after he passed away. And so we keep it in our garage. It's like our backup. It's the refrigerator that I use it to carry all of my water bottles and like sodas and stuff. So anyways, I had to move all of my stuff from my refrigerator in the house into my grandpa's tiny old refrigerator, but this thing works like crazy. I had to move everything because it broke. And my husband and I almost lit my hand on fire. My husband and I just bought this refrigerator last year. It's only a year old, and it broke down. And I had a repairman come to look at it. He was saying, the refrigerators are known for this. The repair was going to cost more than what we paid for it. I was like, you know what? That's what I get for buying the floor model. You get what you pay for. That's the moral of the story. You get what you pay for. So I learned, you are smoking. Usually you don't smoke that much. I love it. So I learned my lesson, and I told my husband the repairs are going to cost more than what this refrigerator is worth. And I was just like, it already broke down on us after a year. I'm like, this thing it's a lemon. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm like, I don't want to risk putting more money into it. So we made the decision to buy a brand new refrigerator. But we had to wait 2 weeks because, like I said, my hubby has been working nonstop. So yesterday was his first day off. And we were able to go order our refrigerator. So, this thing is working. These crystals needed this cleanse. So my husband and I went and bought one. We ordered it, and it should be delivered the beginning of July. And I'm excited. So, yeah, that was like the happy ending to this whole fiasco. But yeah, you guys, my mental health has been like, I've been working on it. It's been rough. And I know I'm not the only one who's been feeling this way. I know a lot of you guys, especially my empaths out there, I know a lot of you guys have been dealing with mental health as well. My empaths, those of us who feel energy, those of us who feel people's emotions, you guys know what I'm talking about. The last few weeks have been hard because we feel the anger in the world, and we feel everything that's happening. So it's been a lot, and I've been putting the messages out there to you guys to cleanse yourself. I don't know how many times I saged myself the last 2 weeks. But to put the intention out there to sage yourself, and to make sure that you're letting go of energy that's not yours at night, letting it go before you go to sleep, cleansing yourself of it. So, I love the way this is burning. But yeah, interesting couple of weeks. And that's all I'm going to say about that with that though, because my husband likes to be private. Like, I like to be somewhat private too about certain things, and there's just certain things that I just don't think we need to be mentioned. But That's been us. But he had a day off yesterday, so it was nice to be able to spend time with him. I started my period yesterday, you guys. Sorry, TMI. I started my period, and I was late about 3 months. So I have irregular period cycles. Sometimes they're like 30 something day cycles. Other times it could be months before I have a period. So my period disappeared, and I literally like thought, oh, maybe I'm pregnant. Took a pregnancy test a couple times. Thought I saw a faint line. I'm not gonna lie, I literally thought I saw one. Took another test, it came out negative. So I was like, okay, well, it's not pregnancy. And then I stopped taking tests after that, because it was just kind of like, I'm not gonna get my hopes up, you know? So, yeah, I moved on with my life, just lived life, and had it in the back of my mind that, oh, I haven't had my period, but okay. It's not abnormal for me, but you know, when I'm not having it, I do miss it. And so it happened yesterday. So I started my period yesterday. I've had really bad cramps and bloating. I am so bloated today. It's awful. But you know what? As much as it's awful, I also tell my body that I love it and thank you for, you know, having another cycle, because when my cycle is gone, I miss it. I miss it. I'm reminded of my, you know, irregular cycles. I'm reminded of my inability to get pregnant. I'm reminded of all these negatives, and it's just kind of like, it's another aspect to my shadow that I have to deal with. And that's exactly what we're going through right now. The world as a collective is going through shadow time. That's what these eclipses are. We're in eclipse season. We just had our first one on the 5th, I believe. We have 2 more. Eclipse season is your shadow. It's all about dealing with the things that you are uncomfortable about. It is all about dealing with things that you don't want to talk about, or that you don't want to address, or that you don't want to acknowledge. That's the shadow stuff. And that's the moon card in the tarot. That's the tower card. So that's what we're doing. The world as a collective, we are all going through shadow moments, and some people are going through more than others. And that's what we have to all be mindful of, is that we are all going through something. We may not all, you know, agree with what we're going through or agree with the experience. We may not all feel like, you know, people's stuff is valid because there's bigger things going on in the world. Some people think that way. I don't. I feel like it's like, I know when I have issues popping up in my own personal life, those take precedence over everything else. I'm sorry to say, but if I'm going through something in my life, so like my experience, you know, with hubby working, and my emotions and my mental health, and then dealing with my irregular period and thinking I was pregnant when I wasn't, all of that stuff. It's just, it does take a toll on your mind, your body, your heart, and that's what happened to me. So I think it was kind of like my tower moment, and I was like, I really realized I needed to take a break. I haven't taken a break from social media. I've still been on, but I have definitely set more boundaries. You guys have seen it in my Instagram stories from time to time. You guys saw it probably on Twitter. I set boundaries. I didn't want to have to set certain boundaries, but I really had to. I have a lot of amazing people that I talk to on social media on a daily basis. You guys, I love you guys. I have friends, in-person friends. I love you guys. But I also was finding that some of your guys' opinions and your beliefs and your feelings, I feel like I need to keep doing this. Whew. For me too. I feel like some of your guys' opinions, your beliefs, your feelings, or the collective as a world, your feelings right now, your anger, and how a lot of people are directing that anger on our law enforcement. I was not able to be in that same headspace because of my situation. I'm married to an LEO. I'm from a family that was very close to LEOs, through my mom, through other family members. It's been my life, and I've always seen a different side to LEOs than other people. And I understand that. And so that was like a part of my shadow period, was realizing that these people who are harboring anger towards law enforcement are people who have probably had negative experiences upon negative experiences with law enforcement. And I also have to accept that, because I have to understand that not everybody is going to have a positive experience with it like I did, right? And so that was kind of a shadow period moment for me, where I had to like come to terms with that. But in order to come to terms with that at peace, I had to also step away from the collective. I had to step away from my friends. I had to step away from people who were posting constant posts about, you know, negative. Oh, I'm using the wrong. I didn't want to do that. I have like soot all over me. I had to step away from people who were posting constant negative opinions and posts and stuff about LEOs, because it was really bothering me. It was really bothering me. It was really hard for me to see that stuff when I was when I was going on like day 12 of not seeing my husband, and him working his ass off, and him dealing with like a lot of negative stuff, being called names, and his character being judged based off of his uniform was really hard to wrap my mind around, because it's not, I don't think it's fair to include everybody as a collective under a certain reputation. And so that's just my stance on that. So anyways, that's what I was dealing with, and I was really learning boundaries, and I was really learning like, how do I still, you know, work with a community that is majority has a collective opinion on something that I don't support. It was really hard, and I lost some followers because I did voice my opinion. I wanted to be transparent with you guys. It was like, I wanted you guys to know where I was coming from, that I'm, you know, this is what I support, this is what I feel, this is what I believe. But I also wanted to be crystal clear that I also, you know, support the collective that the most of the collective does not support. So I'm one of those people, I don't see law enforcement as a bad thing. I'm sorry. It probably angers a lot of you, but that's my opinion, and I am free to have my own opinion. And I have my own opinion because of my life experiences, because I didn't have those negative experiences that some of you guys have had. And I feel like it's like we mutually have to see that. And some people don't see that. So it's been rough, but I've also learned a lot about myself in this process. And I've learned how to maneuver myself through this whole thing. But it was very much consuming, and it was very much, it took a lot out of me. Mental health wise, I was very, very depressed a couple days ago. But I had to let that out. So I cried my eyes out, you guys, like that whole day. And I understand now that now that I started my period yesterday, I realized that these couple days prior was my body getting me ready for this, you know, my menstrual cycle, my PMS. And I had to let those emotions flow. So I cried my eyes out for a day. I was like, I think I had like cry eyes every other hour. I'm not even kidding you. Cried myself to sleep that night. It was rough. It was really, really hard. But I went through it alone. I reached out to people after the fact. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably saw my post where I was reaching out to Leo wifeys, and it was kind of funny because some of you guys thought I was talking about Leos, the zodiac sign, but I was actually, you know, putting the call out for law enforcement wives or girlfriends, and people who were also in this kind of weird community that, you know, we're kind of hush hush, or we're kind of like, we're not as outspoken. And I was luckily fortunate to have a couple of you guys message me. And so I was able to kind of have a conversation about things and share my feelings and have my feelings validated that I can't have with some of my other friends. So I know my friends watching this, I know you know who you are, and I apologize, and I'm probably going to be messaging you really soon. But I had to give myself a few days and like take a little bit of a break because it was rough. It was hard for me too. It was hard for me to have some of my friends ask me how me and my hubby have been doing during this whole experience, and then scroll and see them posting things that kind of were like the opposite of, you know, where I stand and my beliefs. And I understand it was kind of like, I have to respect, and I do, you know, I respect people's choices. I understand that not everybody's going to believe the same way I do. I wish and I hope that you guys all respect that too. It goes both ways. But it was hard. It was hard. It was really hard. Because my usual people that I would go to run to for advice or to talk to when I'm not feeling good were the people I couldn't do it with, because I was seeing where their stance is on this whole thing. And I just felt uncomfortable talking to them about my hubby and his experiences and my feelings. I just felt like it wasn't a genuine conversation I could have with people. And so I really was pulling back from a lot of people that I normally go to. And it was really hard. It doesn't mean I don't like you. It doesn't mean that I didn't want to be friends with you anymore. It just, I really had to like put up my walls because my mind was not in a good place. So anyways, now that all of that it's still there, like those feelings are still there, but for the most part, it's kind of calmed down a bit. And now that my hubby is back to his regular schedule, he's not working, you know, so many hours, and I'm not as stressed out about like where he is or what's happening. It is still scary though, because, you know, he's not, his line of work is not loved right now. It really never is loved, but it's really not loved right now. So it makes it scary. But, you know, my husband has he comes from a place of integrity. He's a good person. He has a big heart. And it just breaks my heart to see people profile him a certain way when he's not. And that's very frustrating, but that is what it is. So now that I let that out, okay, so I'm going to pull some cards on my crystals before I go ahead and start drying them. So I'm going to let them sit. I also made sure that these crystals that are in this water can be in water. So please make sure, you guys, prior to cleansing your crystals, make sure that you are aware if there's any of them that cannot be submerged underwater. If they can't be, spritz them real fast or just do a smoke cleanse. But all of these are fine. So I'm going to use my Moonchild Tarot. I've been using this deck lately for the last few days with my client readings, and I've been doing so many more one-on-one live sessions for my clients that it's been really nice. So I just got done with one earlier today, and it was nice because I finally got to meet this person face to face that I've been reading for a while. So it's been really cool. Woo. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull some cards on the energy of my crystals and some new intentions that I should bring forward for them. Ace of Swords. I like to pull in threes, so let's pull 3 cards. The Universe. 5 of Wands. Okay, so the intentions for these crystals: Ace of Swords, communication. My crystals helping me communicate, which is what they do when I'm meditating, communicating with spirit, communication with my guides, communication with my clients, because some of these crystals are on the table when I'm doing my readings. Also truth and integrity. So truth in every aspect that I do. May these crystals bring truth in my readings, truth in my meditations, and my receiving message from spirit, and also true to self. I also see the universe as it's the world, so the endings of, but I also see the universe as kind of that symbol of like, you know, beyond my guides and like what else is out there beyond here. One of my guides is a galactic being, as crazy as that sounds. I have Edward he's definitely a star being. So you think I'm crazy, sorry, but yeah, Edward is not from planet Earth. It sounds so fucking crazy when I say it, but he did, you know, show himself to me in meditation like fucking 4 years ago when I was living in my apartment. So whenever I see the universe, I think of Edward. So definitely more spirit communication, which I should be working with him more. I haven't been working with Edward as much as I have been other guides that are like kind of new to me with my spirit work that I've been doing. But anyways, and then the Five of Wands, and the Five of Wands is kind of like, this card doesn't depict it, but the Five of Wands is like competition and conflicts. So may these crystals protect me from that too. Conflict of self, I'm hearing, but also I feel like there's going to be a need to use some of these crystals for conflict with others. So I know that that's a thing too. Having a YouTube channel, having, you know, a following on Instagram and whatnot, I do have conflicts with some people. Sometimes I do have people who come from a sense of jealousy. That's just what happens, you know. I'm not going to be everyone's favorite, and that's okay, you know, that's totally fine. But I feel definitely there's going to be some interruptions, some disruptions there. So definitely some of these crystals need to have that intention of protection for that. Especially, I've been working a lot with the evil eye, my mal de ojo, and I have my my eye of Shiva here. So definitely gonna have to use that. Okay, perfect. So beautiful cards, beautiful, beautiful. I love this deck. I don't work with it nearly as much, but lately I have been. So okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and dry the crystals. I'm just gonna lay them out so you guys can see them, and pretty much that's it. So that's basically all that's been going on in my life, you guys. Just a lot of emotions. This is my black moonstone. I actually bought this one off of Elise when Elise used to be in the tarot community. Wild Moon Woman, remember her? This is my rainbow moonstone, has a little heart. That was the whole point of getting that one, because of the heart. Freaking love it. This is my eye of Shiva, my protection stone. I love to use this one for readings. I also like to use this one for the candle intentions, like if I'm doing protection and stuff like that. This one is my apatite stone. Apatite is really, really good for helping with your food, your eating, your intake, weight loss, dealing with food addictions. So I have this one specifically for health. I use this one for health a lot. This one is my Amazonite. No, is it Amazonite? I think it's Amazonite. Huge palm stone. This one is so soothing. It's kind of like if you can't afford aquamarine, then you should get an Amazonite. And then I have a crap ton of Labradorites. This one is one that I keep on the table when I'm doing my readings. This one is my Reiki one. So when I went to get my Reiki 1 certification, this is my Labradorite that I brought with me. He's my healing crystal. I use him for my own personal healing. I use him when I feel like someone else needs healing. Like, he's so relaxing. This one has been my meditation Labradorite. So I have him with me when I'm meditating and connecting with spirit. I use this one. And this one is one that I bought when I was up in Sacramento during my husband, the weekend of his graduation. So I don't know, I felt so called to this one. and it has a purple, kind of a purple shine to him. So he's just a little bit different from the other Labradorites. And Labradorite to me is so relaxing, and it's like a really good stone for like spirit communication and all of that. So yeah, I love it. Okay. This is rose quartz. Rose quartz is really good for love, anything love, relationships, self-love. I also love to use rose quartz when you have menstrual cramps. Oh, absolutely. This is an amethyst, my little moon, my amethyst moon. I won him in an eBay auction. I was so excited. So I love him, my little moon crescent. This is actual, like, natural citrine, little palm stone. So I love him for solar plexus chakra work. But natural citrine, he is not the heat treated amethyst. He's the actual real thing. So my other amethyst palm stone. I actually was in the market for an amethyst palm stone, and when I went to the crystal shop, this was probably the last crystal shop I went to before this whole quarantine happened. So this was, I believe this was in February, I went for my birthday. She had a large amethyst palm stone, and I was like, this is why I felt called to come here. So I love it when that happens, because spirit will call you. It's like your crystals are calling to you because you're supposed to be working with them. So that's my amethyst palm stone, and it's a dark one, so it's really good quality amethyst. And then I have a clear quartz tumbled stone. I love him, use him in my readings. And then I have a couple smoky quartz. I love my smokies. So smoky quartz is good for depression. It's good for sucking up negativity. It's good for protection. It's also good for your root chakra, grounding you. And other protection stones I recommend, here's hematite. So hematite is like, has that kind of like metallic-y gray kind of a look to it, and it's heavy. Hematite is really, really good for protection. So I use these a lot with my candle intentions. And then also obsidian. So I have a couple pieces of obsidian here. And obsidian is good for protection. Any black stone is good for protection and you know, banishing negativity. So I use these guys as well for that intention. And I have 2 pieces of black tourmaline. This one is a tumbled stone, and it also has some clear quartz in it. So I love him for that. And then I also have more of a raw black tourmaline. Black tourmaline is the protection stone. This is the stone you want to use to suck up that negativity. It banishes it. Like I've heard to put black tourmaline like in your front door of your house, like around that area, so that it protects whatever comes to your house. Set that intention. Oh, my other Labradorite. Here's another, I just have another Labradorite piece. I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with Labradorite palm stones. They're my favorite. This one is my Tektite. This is a black Tektite. It kind of looks like an alien. It's really alien looking. I use it with the intention of protection as well, because it's a black stone. And here is a Ametrine. So Ametrine is amethyst / citrine, but it's actually heat treated amethyst. So basically they heat up the amethyst and it turns yellowy golden color, and then they call it citrine, but it's technically not citrine. But it's Ametrine, so it's both amethyst and citrine. So it has purple and orangey, like an orangey yellow to it. So let's see if I can, yeah, see, purples and oranges. I love it though, because it's just a fun stone, but the actual citrine is different. This one, I can never remember what this one's called. It's not clear quartz. It has a very faded hue to it, like a purplish lavender color. I got it at one of the crystal shops I love to go to in Riverside, and I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to stop by her store. Next time I go to her store, I'm going to see if she has more, so I can figure out what this thing is called, because I can't remember. And then my amethyst tumbled whale, my little spirit guide. So this is the one I keep in my purse. I love it. It has my little whale baby on there, a little spirit guide. And that's it. So that is my crystals, you guys. I just wanted to kind of cleanse them and just have a little talk with you guys. It's been a while. It's been a while, and I've tried to like put up some fun videos and stuff, but ooh, look at that. My sage is done pretty much. He's like, that's why he was burning so much. I probably shouldn't. I don't think I should light him. I'm scared. I'm kind of like, I don't want him to like blow up in my hand. Let me see. I'll just spray with some cleansing mist. And I'm just going to let these guys sit. Oh, this stuff smells so good. I'm just going to let these guys sit and dry, and they're ready to go. So that's how I cleanse my crystals. I just clean them with the water, sage them down, spray them down, whatever. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. Just be very mindful of what crystals you can put in the water. Some people like to bury their crystals in the dirt. Do it. Some people like to lay them out in the sun. Don't forget about them, because amethyst will fade. Everybody has their own techniques and ways that they like to do it. This is just how I like to do it. I love to do water cleanse because I'm all about the water energy, so that's me. But if you're more into like, you know, earth energy, then bury your crystals or whatever. Do whatever you feel called to. So anyways, you guys, I just wanted to come on here, have a little fun chit chat with you guys. I got a little bit serious at one point, but I didn't want to like be too overly serious. I'm trying just to be positive and to have a positive outlook every single day. You know, mental health is a thing. I'm not perfect, by far not perfect. But I was in it. I was feeling it. So I feel like now that I went through it and I'm kind of like in a recovery mode, I hope to God that it's, you know, that's it. And then another wave of it will happen later on, because it comes in waves. But it's just important that if you're feeling like that, if you're feeling like out of sorts, you do what you need to do to take care of yourself, whether it's stepping away from social media or surrounding yourself with people that make you that love you and make you happy, or, you know, putting your attention onto other activities like candle making, or, you know, talking to someone, go talking to your therapist, or, you know, whatever you need to do to help yourself, right? Because it's rough right now. And the energy as a collective in this world is a lot. So we could take it. Some people can take it daily. I don't know how they do it, but they can. And there's people like me where I need a break. So anyways, my loves, thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. I will see you guys soon, probably in another video later on. But until then, love you, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.